What's going on to all of my subscribers? Hey, I made this video specifically for you. I want to let you know how much I love and appreciate you guys. This is an awesome accomplishment. 200,000 plus subscribers. We did it. There's a lot more in store. But listen, I don't want you to hear me talking. I want you to watch this video that we made. I want you to enjoy it. And I'll tell you at the end of the video how much I love y'all. Catch me at the end of the video. Watch the video. Let's go. First of all, 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 and first of all, first of all. Well, first of all, Mitt Romney. All of the above, 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 all of the above. I mean, how in the world are they eating? How in the world are they able to bring children? How in the world are they doing this? Now, how in the world? It's B. Tatum. I'm making this video to give you guys some insight on my experience at a Donald Trump rally. I could not believe what I saw. Moving forward, Donald Trump got up and, he gained my respect. He didn't say anything hateful against anybody. And let me clarify this for you, okay? What has happened since Colin Kaepernick took the first knee? What has happened? Have unemployment changed in the black community? Have black on black crime changed? Have police stopped shooting black people? Tell me what has changed. Tell me what has changed since he took a knee. Nothing. Real heroes, when they lose games, they don't come back. The people who die for that flag, it ain't a game. That's real life. That's real sacrifice.
And joining us right now is that Arizona police officer, Brandon Tatum.
I think the fact that you take a knee on the flag is you're starting division right there. And I think the president is trying to bring things back around in full circle and say, okay, we need to realize what unity means and we need to stand for the flag and not divide ourselves by disrespecting America to push an agenda.
Yeah.
We need somebody that's going to stand up and is going to say enough is enough. We're not going to be divided racially anymore. We're going to be one nation, and we're going to focus on our nation first, and we're going to help everybody else second. I used to defend Obama's policies tooth and nail ignorantly. I was brainwashed, man. I was a foolish person. I thought that Barack Obama was a legitimate guy.
All right, a former police officer shocked by what he didn't see when visiting his son's classroom.
I'm looking around the class because they're preparing the kids for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm looking where are they going to look to do the Pledge of Allegiance because there's no flag. There's no flag anywhere. This is stage one of brainwashing our young people to desensitize them to American values.
Well, that father and former Tucson police officer Brandon Tatum joins us now. Brandon, thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, most people understand and they were disgusted by the mere absence of a flag in an American school. But I think a lot of people were open. I had a few people in the comments section tell me like, hey, we'll put some money together. Let's put a flag together. We can even make a custom flag and let's send it to the school and see where they go. But now the teacher has confirmed that she will accept the flag that I sent to her. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
African-American people get mad if you say, or you make the conclusion that black people like fried chicken. I'm gonna tell you this. I love fried chicken. My grandma make the bombest fried chicken I've ever tasted in my life. Grandma don't even use recipes. I asked Grandma, how do you season that chicken like that? Grandma be in the kitchen doing that. Just sprinkling that chicken. Now, I dare you to tell a black person they love fried chicken. They get mauled. So how then is it okay for you to make a generalization about all white people because some white people have privilege? Get off the couch and go make it happen, bro. Nobody want to hear you crying, complaining. You a sucker. Get off the couch and go do something. Tell me something. I swear to God, if I see another person sitting there complaining about the white man, but you got a $200 pair of shoes on. I've seen it too many times. You in the hood, brother, ain't got no 401k, don't have no place to live, But you got gold chains, tennis shoes, and you living with your baby mama. Boy, you better go get it. Y'all don't understand. I worked at Verizon Wireless Premium Retailer. Anybody know that it's a premium retailer? It's not Verizon. I got paid $8 an hour, and we never made commission because our store was too little. For 6 months, I never made commission. I was making $8 an hour. I hated that job. I showed up every day on time. Hated it. But I knew I had to work until I can get to the next job. That job had a means to an end. But I didn't quit because I didn't like it. I didn't quit because it made me mad, because my boss made me mad. So I'm going to quit the job because I think I'm too good to be here. Yeah, I knew I was too good to be there. I didn't want to lie to people and sell people stuff. That's why I wasn't that successful, because I wasn't going to sell your grandma an iPhone. And no, she can't use an iPhone. She can't even see straight. I'm going to sell an iPhone. That ain't who I am. My message to them, regardless of everything I just said, my message to these fake wannabe thug gangsters, fake rappers. I live in the foothills in a good community now, and I ain't never even really been about that life to start with. I hustled for like 2 years, and now I'm this trap star. Stop making this music that's killing us. Put down this fake persona of being a gangster. Pull your pants up. Act with decency. Some of y'all probably got a good education. Stop faking and head faking our community and do what's right.
I consider myself a passive-aggressive Democrat. I voted for Barack Obama his second term. If you would have asked me was I Democrat or Republican my whole life, I would have said a Democrat. And to be honest, until now, I don't even know why I would even say I was a Democrat. And I honestly believe, as sure as I'm sitting here today, that the Democratic Party literally do not like America, and by all means that I've seen, that they hate black people. And I really wish that we would wake up and wish we would come to the conclusions by doing research. Don't believe me. Go research it yourself. Go look up the foundation of the Democratic Party. Go look up the KKK. Go look at what they did to black people historically. Go look at what happened to the black community after the war on drugs. Go look at the separation of them family members. Look at what they did. What legislation have they passed? What agenda have they done for African American people since Barack Obama was in presidency in office for 8 years? I cannot name a legislation, but we could talk all day about what they did for LGBTQ and what they tried to do for illegals, but they have done nothing for black people.
I am incredibly blessed. God has done amazing things. You can imagine where I came from, living in Fort Worth, Texas, graduate from Dunbar High School, all the way to the White House. It's such a blessing, an amazing experience. We are doing something special. People are watching active history, living history as we know it. We marched over here, 400 African-American conservatives coming here to the White House. You talk about 100 years ago or so, or not even that far ago, this was something that couldn't even be imaginable. But we're here, we're doing a great job, we're doing it for the right reasons. We support the president, and not just because we support him as a person. He's a perfect imperfection. But what we do support is we support policies that are going to make America better. So I support that. I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and y'all just keep praying for us as we charge forward.
As you know, this is Young Black Leadership, and it's the summit.
We are so blessed to have all of you here.
I'm on the plantation.
We're going to let America know that we ain't playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
This is a very exciting day.
Every single person probably have a story that needs to be told.
We the free is our slogan.
We are free! We are free! This is legit. We've came from all around the country to be here.
So we are going to fight, and we are going to win. I want to say, Candace, you are the leader of this generation that we deserve. Brandon, thank you, guys.
I'm so upset about Al Sharpton. Let me tell you something, you sorry son of a gun. You're going to sit up here and get on television, and you're going to lie about an event that you have no information about. I'm the chair of this event.
We organized, Turning Point USA, myself organized for 400 young African Americans from all over the country to come down to the White House and meet the president. Not because we're sellouts, not because somebody paid us. Nobody paid us to do nothing. And you wicked, sorry politicians that have done nothing for black people since you started this business want to get up and lie and degrade other black people. These young people got off of the plane with mega hats on. I had no idea they had these hats. They got off the plane with Make America Great Again hats. They got off the plane with energy. They got off the plane with courage. I applaud every single one of these young people. We walked on our 2 feet from this hotel room to the White House. It was a great moment. This is a moment of history. These young people experienced something that nobody can take from them. And nobody had to pay us to do that. Just because you're a fraudulent, phony fool, and you're the only person, or you somehow believe that black people can't think for themselves, you can go screw yourself. And I'm talking to Al Sharpton, and I hope you get this video. You a scumbag.
This was an awesome event for these young folks. 400 black leaders from all over the country able to be in the White House and hear from the president. And I'm going to say this, and I want Al Sharpton to be watching this network and listen to me clearly. As a strong black man raised by a black father, I'm telling Al Sharpton to his face that he should be ashamed of himself. These young people had a great experience. They were enthusiastic, and I want to set the record straight. The White House was one element of a 4-day summit where these young people were inspiring, and they were doing the exact thing that they wanted to do. I had a mom crying on the phone to me because her daughter couldn't make it, and I couldn't be more proud of Turning Point USA and our staff for making that happen for that mother, making that happen for that child. And this was a great thing. And anybody who will counter that and have a problem with that, that person is not a respectful person to the African-American people, the African-American youth, and they should all be ashamed of themselves. And I want every young person to know that I got your back. I'm going to fight for you. Turning Point is going to fight for you, and we're going to make sure that we continue to make America great. And we are free thinkers, and we're going to do everything we can to live the American dream, because this country belongs to us just like everybody else.
Leave your front door open. Why won't you leave your front door open? What about the homeless people who just want somewhere to sleep? Why don't you let them come into your house and sleep on your couch? Let them sleep on your floor. Let them sleep in your backyard. Why won't you do that? Probably because you don't know who they are. You don't know if they're going to rape or rob you when you ain't looking. So you can't just let random people live in your house. Oh, you don't want to let them live in your house? Oh, okay. Bernie Sanders. Oh, you want open board? Okay, your gated community, leave the gate open. Let people walk in there and sleep in your front yard and give them food every day. Why do y'all not want to do that, but you want the border to be open?
Mr. President, if I may ask
See, now this is the part that made me mad. This is the part that made me mad. Watch this.
another question. Are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was
That's
going
enough.
to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. I'm Mr.
See, this is why I couldn't be the president. He literally is strong-arming the mic from this girl. I feel sorry for her because she's trying to be reasonable, compassionate. She's trying to listen to what the president is saying. His time is up. President told him to move on. He's still holding the mic. And she comes to and he strong-arms the mic from the girl. And the left ain't gonna never talk about this. This is literally a man asserting himself against a woman, being a bully, and they're not gonna say nothing. This guy is a coward. If I was the president, I would have came from behind the podium, I'd have walked in his face, and I'd have said, don't you ever put your hands on a woman like that again. Give the mic up, or I'm gonna make you give the mic up. Hold on, man. He's staying like a beta male. This is what Jim Acosta looked like. Man, straighten your back up, bro. All right, let's keep going. Come on, President. Get him. Get him.
So, Brandon, I want to know, what are some of the common misconceptions about black conservatives, and why do you think people have this misunderstanding?
Yeah, I think that it's funny because I think people think black conservatives are somehow uneducated or they're misinformed. I think if you look at the quality of life and what black people experience on a day-to-day basis in most black culture, I think most of us are conservative. I mean, we grew up in the church. We grew up in believing in accountability. A lot of us are enthusiastic about entrepreneurship. You know, this is the concept that I always say, and this is where I grew up in the hood where people used to sell drugs. And forgive me for the analogy, but this is the concept that I always live by. I never seen anybody that sell drugs turn around and say, okay, I'm gonna pay taxes. Or anybody that's hustling all night, look at the next man and say, okay, you weren't hustling all night, but I'm gonna give you half of my money. So African American people in general, and some of them from the hood that I grew up in, are more so of conservative, less government, more entrepreneurship than they are the other way around.
Joining me now, Director of Urban Engagement at Turning Point USA, Brandon Tatum.
But the polls don't really tell the true number of support. And I've seen firsthand African-American support increase from my social media to people that I talk to every day. Young Black Leadership, 400 leaders going to the White House a couple of weeks ago. I can see the enthusiasm in the Black community, and I think it's just going to grow exponentially as we go forward.
The difference between identity politics and people identifying with politics is this. The left uses the concept of identity politics to spread division and strife amongst people. So they bring this group into a room and they tell them something different in this group, than something different in this group, and they pit them against each other. On our side, and on the side that I think better represents what we believe, is that we use people, or we use things to identify with politics. So we say, okay, this group of people learn differently. They have a different culture. We understand that, but we're telling everybody the same thing. African-American people hear the same message as white Americans, hear the same message as Hispanic Americans, as women. I think that it's invaluable for those people who have committed felony crimes, nonviolent. I'm talking about drug offenses, who get out of prison and they can have a level of forgiveness, just like the credit score. If you could show a pattern of behavior after you have served your time in prison or jail, and you could show a pattern of good behavior for, let's say, 5 to 7 years, then I believe that the felonies and stuff should fall off of your record, just like on your credit score. I believe wholeheartedly, without a shadow of a doubt, that we are all Americans. If you are born in America and you're a citizen of America, you are an American. If you have come onto this country illegally, you are not an American. I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care what Barack Obama say. I don't care what the left say. You are not an American.
They get on TV and they cried, oh my God, so-and-so and so-and-so is doing this and that, and Trump is, Jim Acosta, he lost his press credentials. They're going to do that. But then Antifa goes to Tucker Carlson's house and nobody says anything. I haven't heard anybody come out and say anything about that. Now, I don't watch the news every day, but some clips should be going viral at this point with somebody on the left criticizing Antifa for going to the man's house with his wife there. And some reports say that they broke his front door. Explain to me why nobody's making a big deal about that. If they can somehow sue because a man justifiably lost his press credentials, why are they not making a stink about Antifa going to this man's house?
Well, the firing of Marie Cordell is likely the first of many to come, and it could be an indicator of chaos inside the Trump White House right now.
The first of many to come. This could be an indicator of chaos in the White House. Now, what will make you jump to that extreme conclusion that there's chaos in the White House because somebody got fired for lacking integrity? And there's chaos in the White House because the first lady gives advice to the president and he listens. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. But I just want you guys to see how ridiculous biased media is, creating controversy within the White House for no reason.
But if somebody like Cory Booker and the people on the left don't even want to take the first step, and let me tell you why they don't want to take the first step. The reason they don't want to take the first step is because currently Republicans still run the House and the Senate. Their overhaul or their little blue, splash in the bucket will take effect in January. If they can implement this and get this passed, it's going to be passed under a Republican majority in the House and the Senate. So people like Cory Booker and that play these liberal games, they don't want to see it passed until they have the House. And they can put their name behind a bill and have it so when he run for president, he can put his title and his name behind legislation, meaningful legislation that was passed. Because they didn't do nothing about it all these other years. So just a sneak peek. Pay attention to who's supporting this and who's not. I'm sick and tired of these fools. They're foolish. It is a disgrace. If you're seeking asylum, then you got to do like everybody else. You come and wait in line. The moment that you think in your mind that you're going to bombard the United States border, then you done lost your doggone mind. There's no way on planet Earth
You should step foot in our country if you don't abide by the laws. We should throw you out. No court proceeding, no nothing. We catch you jumping over that fence, we gonna throw you back over the other side. Throw you. We gonna throw you on the other side.
I remember when I had my first apartment, I couldn't afford furniture.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't afford cable. I had to eat, eggs, and I put, some pepper jack cheese on top of it. That's what I had to do until I made more money, I had more opportunities, and I never looked to the government unless it was my last resort. And I think people have to get into that mode of not depending on the government and being self-sustainable and working hard. That's what this country was founded on, and I think some people need to get back to that.
When you're saying something as stupid as LeBron James is saying, I have a right to disagree. So let me read you what he said about slavery and NFL ownership. The NFL, they got a bunch of old white men owning teams, and they got that slave mentality. Now, the English is not good, and I'm not going to throw that in his face that his English sucks. First of all, I would agree with LeBron James if these factors were true. If these NFL owners were raping their players, I'd agree with LeBron James. If these NFL owners weren't paying their players, if they were beating their players, if they force players to play involuntarily, I'd agree. And then the concept of saying, you do what I tell you or I'll get rid of you. First of all, in slavery times, slave owners owned you. They paid money for you. They couldn't say, do what I tell you to do, I'll get rid of you. They'd say, do what I tell you to do, I'll beat you.
Law enforcement officers around the country are going after it every day, even when they don't feel like it, even when they may be sick, even during the holiday season. They're going out and protecting and serving. You need to show them some doggone respect, whether you're a legislator or whether you're a citizen. We shouldn't be focusing on law enforcement officers and feeling sorry for them and having vigils and all this stuff when they die. We should be supporting them when they're alive. We should be supporting them when they're strolling out around our communities, trying to make sure that we're safe. We need to end the negative rhetoric against law enforcement officers.
Red the store! I don't give a get out!
This is a grown man. He's an adult. This is a grown man screaming at the top of his lungs to tell this guy to get out of the store because he disagreed with him politically.
Oh, get the off in here, man. Stand your racist.
Racist?
Yeah.
It's true.
Right.
I like how as soon as he say racist, tell me how ironic this is. He says racist and all this stuff, and there has to be a black guy in the store at the time that this happens. And literally the black guy's in the middle being like, man, I don't know what's going on, man. Y'all tripping.
2019 barely started, and Mitt Romney's already Rhino of the Year. He says, well, I'm not going to get mad at everything the president does, just only when he talks about racism or anti-immigrant or, well, first of all, Mitt Romney, President Trump had more of the black vote than you would ever get. President Trump had more of the minority vote than you would ever get. President Trump, when you look at the urban revitalization, when you look at the First Step Act, when you look at the executive order he gave over $1 billion plus to HBCUs, what are you doing, Mitt Romney? What are you doing? Nothing. And you wonder why minorities are skeptical against the Republican Party because of people like Mitt Romney.
And when your son looks at you and says, Mama, look, you won, bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the motherfucker.
Now, is that the language that a person in Congress should be utilizing to address the president of the United States? Let me show you a little bit about the social justice mentality and how people are using their children to have empathy for ridiculous statements that they make. Well, when your son looks at you and tells you bullies don't win, well, the rhetoric and character that you're displaying is just as bullyish as the things that you are claiming that Donald Trump is saying. And you're calling him an MF, the commander-in-chief of the United States of America. Ridiculous. And then what does she do? They catch her outside and then she's running. They're telling her, do you stick by your statement? She's running, going under tape, running downstairs. What kind of cowardice behavior is this? Do your homework, ladies and gentlemen.
our American way. The Constitution is at hand. And if you keep playing around, we're going to end up being an irrelevant country. You don't believe me? Look at history. The biggest empires in history have fallen because of the same situation that we're finding ourselves being in. From the manipulation of young people and gender, to the brainwashing on campus, to the brainwashing in media, to the censorship of ideas, all of the above are going to be the catalyst, are going to be the straw, or whatever you want to call it, that literally caused the fall of a great nation. It is up to you to utilize your brain power to research these principles that I'm talking about.
The president certainly didn't invent racism, but he's certainly given a voice to it.
Well, hold on. What does it mean to give a voice to racism? What does that mean? As if people are sitting around waiting for Donald Trump to say, hey guys, you can be a racist.
Do you believe President Trump is a racist?
Yeah, no question.
How can you say that?
When you look at how he reacted to the Charlottesville incident where neo-Nazis murdered a woman.
For the last time, how is Charlottesville racist? White people beating up other white people. Where's the racism? And then the young lady that got killed, she was white, and she got killed by another white person. If you still think Trump is a racist because of Charlottesville, you're an idiot.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
Wait, hold on. Chucky said illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple. Is that right, Chuck? Is that right, Chucky?
The President of the United States, having failed to get Mexico to pay for his ineffective, unnecessary border wall, and
stop saying his wall. It's the people's wall. And first of all, he already said that his renegotiation with Mexico has saved us enough money, or that's going to give us enough money that's going to cover their side of the wall. So they're going to pay for the wall inadvertently. That's exactly what he said.
And here are some of the steel slats that the president's been talking about right here. But as we're walking along here, we're not seeing any kind of imminent danger. There are no migrants trying to rush toward this fence, but no sign of the national emergency that the president has been talking about. As a matter of fact, it's pretty tranquil down here.
Oh, Jim, do you know why? Do you know why it's tranquil? Do you know why it's peaceful? Do you know why that there's no illegals trying to bombard this barrier? Because it works, you idiot, it works.
Your success in life is dependent upon you. It's dependent upon how much are you willing to put up with, how much are you willing to take, and how much you're willing to pursue your dreams and your goals.
You are free. You are not bound by anybody. There is no such thing as slavery in our modern times. And white people are not worrying about you on their days off. So I will say this to any young brother who watched LeBron James do that. Don't look at people like LeBron James as a role model. You can look at them as a good basketball player. Listen to people who talk to you about freedom, who talk to you about you can be the best that you want to be if you put in the effort, that you live in the greatest country on earth. God-given abilities can make you successful, not just so you can flaunt and have $1 million houses. It's for you to give back to other people. What you do in this lifetime will precede your death. People won't remember your money. They're not going to remember how many threes you didn't hit. They're going to remember the impact that you had on somebody's life that caused a positive reflection on the community.
So now that you've watched the video, I just want to slow it down a little bit and just sincerely from my heart tell you guys how much I love you and I appreciate you. Some of y'all have been subscribed to my channel from the very beginning. Some of y'all remember just last year, I had about 34,000 subscribers. Now we're well past 200,000 subscribers. And I just want you guys to know I love you, man. And I appreciate everything that you guys have done. I appreciate all of the shares and the likes and the comments. I appreciate everybody that has donated to the channel. I mean, you guys have been such a blessing. When we've been able to accomplish a lot this year, I would say last year in 2018, and now it's 2019, I look forward to making the channel much more expansive. I look forward to launching a few things that I think you guys will really like. some things that a lot of you guys will love. And let's just keep rolling together, man. This is a mission that we all are in together, and we're going to accomplish it together. And every great success that I have on this channel is because of you. And I want you guys to know that. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep making America great. And let's keep inspiring America. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. I love you guys, man. Again. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.